Damas y caballeros, welcome to En Mis Tiempos. I'm gonna host George. And it's not May the 13th. Wait, Friday the 13th? I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm here today with Alfredo and Adriana. How's it going, guys?
Happy Monday. Friday.
Going great. Adrian, your voice changed.
Why did your voice change, Adrian?
Mine? Oh, I'm like, wait, what?
And this week's guest, we have Ashley on the podcast. Welcome. How are you?
Ashley, his name is Ashley. He's a boy.
He's a boy.
That's his full name.
I am a boy, despite the emails I get sometimes. But I'm great. I'm glad
Can't
to be here.
pick gender over email, unless you have that he, hers, hims, thems.
You should probably start doing that just
Well,
because of your name.
It works in your favor.
Well, to be fair, most times it's people that I know.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to be funny. I haven't done that yet, I don't think.
I'm not gonna
But when
lie.
I do, like, we work together, and when I tell people, like, Ashley's going to call you or call Ashley, I have to tell them it's a guy. Because they always assume.
Not gonna lie, whenever you pulled up, I was like, wait.
Oh, because we have a calendar where we, like, put the guest for the thing on there, and it said Ashley. That's all I wrote. I'm sure everybody was expecting a girl.
I do get nervous, like, if I send an email or a text and I've never talked to them on the phone before, and then I call them, I'm always, like, wondering what they're thinking. Oh,
Like,
hey, this is Ashley.
he's
What
like,
the fuck?
this is Ashley. I'm in transition.
So you don't get used to it? Like, I get used to people butchering my name.
I'm very used to
So
it.
when
Your
someone
name's
says,
Adriana. What?
no, but if, like,
How
a
do they
minute ago
butcher it?
you said Adrian.
No.
I know that
okay.
Adrian. I know.
Sorry.
But what I'm saying is, people butcher my name every time, so now it doesn't surprise me. Where it's like, okay, what is it today?
That's fair. If you're wondering why Adrian's not here and Adriana is here, do you go by Adriana or Adriana?
Adriana.
Adriana.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Adrian's not here. Actually, he just said he couldn't make it. But we're trying her on as a regular hostess, whatever. We're probably gonna start rotating because we're tired of each other. So let us know how you think
Can
she
I
does. If
rotate?
she sucks, we'll get rid of her. It's cool.
Yeah, let them be honest, I guess.
You can't butcher my name, George.
Depends on how you spell
I'm
it.
sure.
Exactly. Oh no, yeah.
I
Everybody
told
has
you
to.
guys about. Should I? I know a
Should
guy
You know
that I
that.
sometimes have to work with. He goes by George, but he spells it Jorge.
Okay.
Yeah. But
It's really weird because he gets really upset if you call him Jorge.
oh really?
What?
Yeah, like he corrects you. And
Why
doesn't
was
like
he?
it.
Where was he born?
Clearly
And-
here.
Yeah, I think Laredo. I'm not sure. I don't.
So,
We're
okay.
not that close.
But it is Jorge, right?
Yeah, his name's Jorge. His parents are probably Mexican or of Mexican descent, and they named him Jorge. But he doesn't like the name, so he goes by George.
Hmm.
And it sounds like if you.
And the nickname to that is Coqui.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
George or Jorge
There's
or
a nickname?
Jorgina.
Don't do that.
I swear.
Georgina.
Whatever.
Georgina. What's the nickname?
The nickname is Coqui.
Koki?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that before.
I've never heard that.
Not very common around here, but I've heard.
It's not? I
Oh.
have two cousins. So
But
one
yeah.
female, one male. They both
You're both Coqui?
Coqui.
Cool.
Hey, Koki.
Okay, if you were to read the name Jorge in English, how would you say it?
I mean, I would probably say Jorge.
George A.
Well, because you know what it is. But if you've never seen that name before, you'd never met anybody named Jorge, and you just read those letters in that order, how would you read it in English?
Like Jorge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgie or
George
George,
is
maybe?
George.
So I mean, he has a valid
I'd
point,
go with Jorge.
right?
George? No, George. Sorry, keep going.
That's all I'm asking. Like it's not
I
completely
would
insane
instantly
that he goes
say-
by George. We say Jorge because we know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
because I go by George. People call me
Your
something
name
Jorge.
is George.
Yeah, people call me Jorge. My dad's name is Jorge,
Right.
but they could at work or whatever, anywhere they call him George. I'm like, dude, tell him to correct them. That's not your name.
Well, people call me Joe. That's not my name. It's not even close to my name.
Well, no, but
I have questions.
what was it?
Why? What are the
What?
questions?
What is it?
I've known you for like Joe.
Well, I mean, my name's Jose, so I guess you
Oh.
could say
Yeah.
whatever,
Okay.
but it's not my
I see.
name. Joe's not my name.
So
You didn't know his name was Jose?
Why do you go by Joe?
I did know that.
Some guy
A long time
a
ago.
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Some
When I
old
started in
white
construction, some old white guy that I was working with decided he was going to call me Joe, and it stuck.
He's like, "Hey, Joe,"
Yeah,
and you were like,
That's Jose.
it's not my name.
Joe.
And he kept
Jose.
calling me Joe, and then everybody started calling me Joe, and then I just became Joe.
I have a friend that his name is Joel, and
It's Joe.
they started calling him Joel.
Yeah.
Or Joe. Yeah. So I understand that. I can see that.
But at least Joel, like if you read it, that's an actual
Joel.
name in English too. Joel, like
Yeah.
Joel, whatever.
I have
But
a
Joe.
Joel. I have a Joel too, but we call him Joey.
I've heard Joey before
Yeah.
too for that.
I think that one's weird still.
"That's interesting that you said that because I knew a guy as well when I worked somewhere previously. He went by George, but it was spelled like Jorge."
I guess it's more common than I think. it
I
is.
hate it.
You know what's funny is when somebody says their name is George, in my head,
You
I'm
think
like Jorge.
I do the same thing.
Especially if they're Hispanic,
they're
or
Hispanic,
if they,
yeah.
yes, if they're Hispanic and they're like, "Oh, George," and I'm like Jorge.
Because
like,
the
stop
likelihood
it.
that their parents
Say it
actually
right.
named them George is
Yes.
slim.
Or it's like, stop it.
Would
it's
you say that to me?
George A.
Would you say that to me? It's spelled with a G. G.
Your dad did name you George because
G-E-O-R-G.
he wanted you to be George.
Yeah.
But I would have thought Jorge.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was spelled like that. You just say
He did
George.
it so I wouldn't be called a junior. So I'm not.
That's valid.
Yeah.
It's complicated when you become a junior.
yeah, it
for
is various.
credit.
I'm a junior.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Like for
Damn.
credit.
Your dad lived with his name. He's like, fuck that. I'm going to give it to him too.
Well, so my granddad's John David, and then my dad's John Ashley, and then I'm the junior to that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're John Ashley.
Yeah, but I don't like the name John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why he
so
goes by Ashley. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
well, growing up, I always went by Ashley with like family and family friends, and even at school. But then when I got to that age, like
Where
probably
kids are
like
mean?
second grade, oh yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Aw,
Yeah,
that sucks.
You could have just
Those
said you were
kids.
Ash. Ash is a cool name.
that probably.
I think
would have been
now-
better, yeah.
I think in
Dude, Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
today's times, it would be frowned upon for them to bully anyone.
Yeah, probably.
I'd still do it though.
Yeah.
He'd just get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Valid.
I
The
still
hell was I
wish-
going to say?
I don't know.
I had another story about a name.
I was going to talk about middle names, but just wish I had a middle name.
So I have 3 girls, right?
I thought you were going to say I have 3 names.
No. My kid always asks me what my middle name is, and I don't have one. So there's that. But so I have 3 girls, and we're done. Like, we're done. So there's no, I've always liked the name Daniel, like for a boy, but I didn't have a boy. So I named my 3rd kid. No.
What?
Danielle.
I wanted to spell her middle name Daniel, like the boy, but my husband said, "Don't do that to her." He was like, "Don't do that." So we at least went with Danielle.
Just broke your
Yeah,
mic.
it went out.
Mess with that.
Hold on.
I
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as for a girl naming her a guy name. Does that make sense?
They don't get us bullied as much.
Yeah.
They don't
I-
get bullied as much, I think.
I like girls with guy names. I
Oh.
do. If I ever had a girl, I would consider it.
Like,
But some names you can get away with, like Aaron.
Aaron, like Erin, or
Well, that's how you would.
isn't there a TV show called Aaron and Aaron?
It's
There is. Olivia watches that.
Aaron.
Aaron is the other one.
Yeah.
Or Aaron. Aron.
So
I
you,
I think that one's very like unisex though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Aaron?
very interchangeable. Yeah.
Aaron is. I've known female and male. I've
I've never even heard of a female named Aaron.
I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I work with
elementary.
one. Mhm. But it's spelled Erin.
Well, okay.
But
yeah.
that's how you determine. However, I know a male that also spells it Erin. Like it's very confusing, but
Yeah, that's weird.
in that because typically that's how you can tell whether it's a male or a female. It's how they spell it. But in his case, Erin.
What about Leslie? Is that a girl name or a boy name?
Oh, that's both.
That can be both.
That can be both. Yeah.
But what do you automatically think?
Why do I automatically
Do you think
both?
like
Female.
female or
Oh
male?
yeah, female.
Female. I've heard Kelly as well as
Kelly.
just talking about that, but
Corey.
Kelly can be
Wasn't there
both.
Kelly Slater. Was he a surfer
Mhm.
or a
Yeah.
bull rider?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Surfer.
Surfer?
You know, yeah.
Wait, you're talking about Saved by the Bell?
No, that was AC Slater.
Oh,
And Kelly.
Close enough.
Kelly.
we're gonna say name.
Kelly what?
I like
I forgot her name.
Corey.
Corey.
That's a unisex name. Yeah, it's definitely Corey. I know a guy named Corey. I don't know a girl named Corey, but I feel like you could use that.
I like it for a girl.
Yeah.
Jody. Jody
Jody.
can be.
All right, you guys
Joe.
are boring me again.
Sorry.
What else are we talking about? Let's
Sorry.
go.
I'm like thinking of names. Sorry.
Well,
All the names.
now, you know, you gotta have names.
Did we talk about the Dallas professional team coming to this?
No, we did not. But
Did you figure out what it was?
I did.
I know what it is. I'm
Okay.
just wondering if you
No, I
ever
didn't.
know.
No. But I'm excited actually. Well, go ahead. What's the name?
Fuck, I don't know what the name is.
Dude,
It's a women's
yeah,
team.
shit
Nobody
on
knows
me.
what the name is. They
Okay.
teased us on. There was a few outlets that were teasing like a professional team coming to the Cotton Bowl, and we were all trying to figure out what it was. It's a women's soccer team,
Oh, nice.
professional female soccer team.
So yes, they're Dallas is getting a. It's Dallas
So
Trinity.
It's an expansion team, or they already have a team and they're just moving.
Trinity already exists,
It's
doesn't
an
it?
expansion. Yeah. No. It's a Dallas Trinity FC.
Oh, there's FC Dallas.
Yeah. No.
Trinity, like after the river.
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
They're joining the USL, so it's not the.
It's not even the main league.
Yeah, it's not the main thing. It's the secondary league.
Okay, well that's
But they're playing at the Cotton Bowl. It's what I've always wanted, like a team to be playing at the Cotton Bowl. You know, will I go to the games? Yes, maybe.
actually I might too. I like
Yeah,
soccer.
exactly.
I like women. It's on my way home. That works out
Dude, it's that. Yeah, like
I've never been to the Cotton Bowl. Isn't it hot?
in the summer. Isn't Lambeau cold?
That's different.
Well,
That's
it's
an
the same thing.
experience.
So is the Cotton Bowl. It's a
Yeah.
historic stadium.
yeah, sweating or it's the same thing. Like
I wanted to go to
It's
a
an
concert
experience.
there, and then I realized what month it was, and I said, nope.
you were gonna go to the Carol G one.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I did too.
I'm
wanted
glad
to.
I didn't because people like died. Okay, they didn't, but they were like,
Oh, because of the exit, right? Whenever they're,
I don't
leaving the
know. They
stadium?
were like really hot and drunk, and people were just, it was not a good time, apparently.
Carol G. Had
It
a
was
good
too
time.
I
packed.
could have told you that just from Carol G.
No,
Whoa.
just from Cotton Bowl.
No, I've been to events there. It's fine.
Mm.
It's the type of people that go to the event that you're going to that makes the event.
Judgmental Susie.
Very much so. But then you just proved me right?
Well, that's why I didn't go.
All right then. I mean,
So I
you
get
judge too.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
Touche.
But yeah, they start next year, I believe. I don't know. I'll look into it. Oh, there's tickets. Sorry. Oh yeah, you can. You can be a season pass a member.
How much? $100 for the season?
For
50
$50
bucks.
for
For
the
the
season.
season?
That's insulting.
That is insulting. What?
Hold
No
on.
way.
It says $50.
It does.
Oh, it's a deposit. $50.
Okay, you pay the other 25.
You
later.
pay the,
Stop. No, yeah, no. Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's so sad.
What? The members the
No, that women's sports, they don't pay much. They don't.
it's not well.
Go ahead. We've never had this conversation with a woman, have we? We've talked about it a
Oh,
few
sorry.
times.
I just feel like it sucks that
Women's sports, yeah, we agree. But nobody watches them.
I'm a.
I mean, question. Have you watched any of the WNBA games?
Nope.
Mm.
None.
I actually did watch
That's
that.
so
I
it's
don't remember if I watched
it's one of
it.
those things where it's like I understand why they don't get paid as much in the sense of, well, you don't fill as many stadiums or it's not the same in that aspect. It just sucks. That's what I'm saying.
But okay, I have a question. Why don't y'all watch? You watch football.
They do. Do they have women's football?
They did. It was called the Lingerie League. Or something.
And that is why. What, really? Who is that for? Who is that for?
No, there's that one picture. That one picture was that girl's just chugging some beer. Come on, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Who is that for?
Okay, that's fair. Women's soccer is they're really good. They're better than the men. Why don't you watch that? You watch soccer? Maybe?
I watch soccer-ish more so because my kid plays it. So
Okay, you watch basketball, men's basketball.
not as much as I used to.
So you just hate sports.
I don't hate them. I just can't keep track of all of it on top of everything else that I keep track of.
But if there was a women's football league, you'd watch it?
I think so. I think I would. If it was no, I do. I think I would. Why not?
Because
I don't think I would.
why do you watch men's football?
Because it's fun.
But why is it fun?
Because they hurt each other.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you watch it because there's definitely always a possibility that somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, that's not why I watch.
That's the same
No,
reason I
that's
watch.
why we watch.
That's why we watch NASCAR.
Right. I mean, you watch,
Raisdale, Praisdale.
you watch men's sports because it's like the ultimate athletes, right? In that sport, doing like the most you could possibly do with a human body in that respect. And if you watch a women's game, it's not going to be the same. You're not going to get the same level of athleticism, speed, power, like nothing. So it's not as fun.
Watching Caitlyn drop some threes is pretty fun.
Yeah, but you're not going to see her dunk from the free throw line or like fucking posterize
I feel like-
somebody.
I feel like-
Maybe.
Well, no, you're not. I don't think you would, but watching her shoot some threes is pretty impressive.
That's why I quit watching men's basketball.
Because all they do is shoot three.
Yeah. Like legitimately, that's why I quit
Really?
watching. Yes. It's
Because
not
you
fun
want to see
anymore.
dunks?
I want to see
men's
physical basketball.
Men's basketball turned into soccer.
Yeah, it's a fucking sideshow now.
It's
like,
you go like this and they fly. Yeah, exactly.
No defense. I mean, the average score of games the last like 5
It's
years,
crazy.
it's like every game's like 140 to 135.
every time you have the argument with people about whether or not Jordan's a GOAT, they're like, oh, this because nobody played defense back in the 90s. I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's
Yeah.
good. Like games used to end 91 to 89 back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Now it's like 150 to 125. What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, last game, Mavericks game was like 115 to 120 or
It's like the All-Star game, but every game of
Every
the
game,
season.
yeah.
Yeah.
something.
But so seriously, that's why I quit watching basketball, but that's why I still watch football. If they keep changing the rules to make it less and less physical, I might quit watching that. Like that's why we watch, whether we want to admit it or not.
That's where it's headed.
Yeah.
See deaths or something. But hey, Caitlin Clark filled up the stadium, the preseason game. I don't know if y'all saw that, but
Who did?
Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I
Uh,
did hear about that.
So I think, like I watched her preseason game, the highlights, but I think I watched
She
the first
didn't
game.
do too well the first game.
She shot.
I thought she did.
Scored 21.
No, that was the preseason game. The first actual game, I think she scored 12 or something like that.
Oh, I thought she
Oh.
did. I thought that's what they were talking about, where they're like, "Oh, did you see?" Or someone was talking crap and said, "Hey, she's lucky if she gets X points on her first game," and she ended up doing really, really well.
Yeah, the legend or some.
Yeah, someone important,
Someone. Yeah.
someone high up.
Someone important. Another female
Yes.
whose name you don't know because who cares? Yeah.
You got you on
listen,
that
You
one.
shut me
I
up
like,
on that
I like,
one.
I'll
You
watch
shut me
women's
up on that one.
tennis. I like there's sports that I will watch because they're still fun to watch, but not basketball.
Women's golf.
I've never watched them. They're just as boring as men's golf, so I don't watch that either.
Well, yeah, if you're not into men's golf,
Yeah.
you can't.
Golf isn't
appreciate
that
it.
boring.
But it
It's
is.
actually
Interesting.
to watch. Have you ever watched?
Yeah,
I
I've
lo-
watched it.
I love it.
Dude, yeah, whenever Tiger Woods is on,
That's
dude,
the only
you
time
gotta
I
watch.
Tiger
watch.
Woods.
That's the only time I watch.
That's
What's-
the only golfer
and,
you know.
and Paul, what's his name? The is he Irish? I don't remember what he is.
Rory.
Yeah, Rory McIlroy, dude. And
He hasn't been good in years.
no, he
He's
hasn't,
gotten
but
better
back in the day, yeah.
recently.
Getting better again. Okay.
Yeah, he's
it's-
getting a little bit. He's not winning, but Tiger might play this weekend.
See, I might watch this weekend. I literally only follow golf when he's playing because he's still fun to watch.
I didn't know he still played.
Nothing else, just for the crowds.
I thought he fell off.
Well, it's
He fell
crazy.
off a cliff, but I
Yeah.
think he
I
recovered.
mean, not
from that.
literally.
In a car.
I don't know if it's true or not. I don't. I'll look it up.
But the crazy thing about Tiger is he's still like, if you watch the Masters like a month ago, he played 2 rounds and he was like 6 strokes off the lead after 2.
Yeah.
He's still good enough to compete at that level, but as soon as the 3rd round starts, his body falls apart. His body can't keep up anymore. But he's good enough.
Poor guy. I hate to see that.
It's got to be frustrating. Do you know that you're like better than everybody else, but your body won't let you do it anymore? Like, fuck.
Ended at 2 rounds.
Yeah, let's have a 2-round tournament. See how you do, motherfuckers.
Yep.
Anywho,
Dude, you better have something to talk about.
so the other day, this happened to me yesterday or 2 days ago. Someone sent me a video, and it was a video of a soundtrack from a movie I used to watch a long time when I was young. Right? It was okay. It was a soundtrack that I really loved, and I bought the CD for it. But it was like in that moment, whenever I started listening to it, like nostalgia hit me, right? And I was like, damn. Like I started remembering all the stuff I used to do back in the day. I was like 10 years old or 11, 12, something like that. But it got me thinking. I was like, what is it nostalgia good at times? Or what's something nostalgic that y'all, get every now and then that brings back those memories that you watch or listen to? Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know what the movie was, though, first, before we move on.
Tarzan.
Well, if you must know. What'd you say?
Tarzan.
No, I hated
I don't
that.
know why that movie came to
Which one?
mind.
I hated Tarzan.
Tarzan. Disney.
No, he hated it.
No, it was no, dude. Okay, this soundtrack had no business going this hard. It's grade A, like banger after banger. Digimon the movie, dude. No, all right. I'll show you afterwards. I'll show you afterwards. But anyways, yeah, no, it brought back memories. I was like, sitting there, and for me, some nostalgia is great, but sometimes it's just I don't know. I don't like it.
Why? Does it make you sad?
No, it doesn't make me sad. It's just I don't know why I don't like thinking about the past.
It's a trigger.
What do you mean?
It's a trigger.
Are you like trying to
psychology you?
Yeah.
It's a trigger for what?
For what?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
That's something that he has to. The part that he doesn't like. It's triggering something. It's triggering something.
We're not gonna go that way, but I want to ask y'all. Go ahead.
Just saying.
What's something that you'll listen to or see or I don't know that brings back those memories of when you were a child or a good times?
Okay,
I guess.
well, let's start with this. Is nostalgia? Does it have to be a good memory?
No. Oh well, shit!
Something just flew into my nose.
I guess yeah. See it.
I want to go with yes. It's just a bunch of dust in the air.
There's no dust.
There was.
Anyway, is nostalgia good or?
No. Oh, is it good? I'm gonna go with yes, because it brings back good memories. Did that movie in that soundtrack? Yes, for me, it brought back good memories.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. First, when I get that feeling, I love it. I'm trying to think of like instances that like trigger it, and I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. But when I do get that feeling, I know that like that feeling hits me, and it almost makes you like feel more and be more present because you're more aware. You're like maybe it's a song on the radio and the windows are down, For me, like growing up, my dad would always have like classic rock on the radio. So if I'm driving down the road and a certain song comes on, my windows are down and I feel that like rush of air, I'm more present in the moment.
I see what you're saying.
And it feels really good.
Need a motorcycle?
I do not need a motorcycle. Kaylee would never let me.
What's that one song that you think? Freebird, for sure.
Yeah, something like that. Something along those lines. The 70s, 80s rock. Pretty much any of those like songs, to be honest.
Hair metal?
Not quite hair. Not
okay,
quite.
Right before?
Yeah, not quite like Def Leppard, but maybe because I don't consider Skynyrd hair.
No,
they're more like Southern.
Oh yeah,
rock.
No, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even like. Okay, this was going to be a bad example because this is probably hair rock, but
Kiss.
REO Speedwagon.
REO's borderline. I don't consider them a hair metal band. Okay, there's definitely something flying around in here. I don't know how I got in here, but see it?
What?
There I went.
There's nothing flying in here.
I did see it.
It's a ghost.
We're going to kill it here in a minute.
It's a spirit.
If you hear a loud clap, you'll know what it was.
I think
we've talked about this before.
No.
I told you about freshly cut grass or Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
remember
okay, yeah, you did. But that was okay. Grass and Dr. Pepper. I want
We were
something.
talking about nostalgia. Also.
Yeah.
Since you said grass, but in the Midwest.
What's the difference?
Oh, there's a big difference.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't realize there was a difference until we went back to Wisconsin like a few years ago. And I don't know, I stepped outside barefoot and you can step in the grass and it doesn't hurt.
Well, it depends on what kind of grass you get.
Well, the stuff over there is not like
You
the
can
stuff
get it here,
here.
too.
Nuh-uh.
You just have the cheap stuff here.
It just doesn't.
We do have the cheap
No, because I've asked and
What is
it
it?
wouldn't last.
Wait.
It wouldn't grow?
Is it real grass?
It won't last. It's too
It's real grass.
it's too
Fragile.
like yeah.
It'll burn up in the summer?
It'll burn
makes sense.
the heat out here is too much for it. So there is a
Texas.
difference, but that's when I stepped out there, it was like childhood, like, oh, we used to play outside. Yay. With no shoes on and you didn't have to worry about like it hurts.
Yeah. You don't have anything like that
Said
other than
grass.
Oh, okay, you said grass again.
Music for me is more than movies. If there's music that I listen to from
Is
what?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
From 90s, 2000s, just
It's too much?
no, not too much. It's more of like it takes me back to certain times. Like, oh, I remember when this song came out. I was living in this place, and we would hang out with so and so, and it was that type of memory. We get that a lot. Like when my brother comes into town, or when I'm over there. That tends to happen a lot more in the sense of he'll play like an old playlist, and hey, do you remember this song? Remember we went to such place and this song was playing and blah, blah, blah. Like he'll have a vivid memory and it's almost like, oh my God, I forgot that happened. Like, holy shit. So, I mean, music does that for me. Like just older music, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the newer stuff. Don't have too many
You will
memories
later,
yet.
though.
Maybe, yeah, for sure.
Hopefully not.
What do you mean?
None of this music is good. Anyways.
I'm going to
Yeah,
still
it
bring
is.
you back to
Oh,
today,
yeah.
though.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Good.
I don't keep
Some of
up
it.
with like music nowadays.
Same.
I feel like maybe like 10 years ago when the radio was still like somewhat relevant, I would listen to the radio, and then Spotify got big and you would go, create your playlists. And
Yeah.
the only way that I discover like new music now is with
TikTok.
friends
Oh.
or, I mean, yeah, but same thing, social media, Reels, TikTok,
I do say.
or like Discovery on Spotify. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, you might like this,
You know what's interesting though is that like the ones that are big hits on TikTok, you have your like few seconds where it's like, hey, and then the rest of the song sucks. Have y'all noticed that? It does. Where you remember like the little bits, like the TikTok, it runs or whatever,
Yeah.
and you remember that.
That one part.
Yeah, that main piece or whatever. But then you listen to the full song and it's like, what?
So the whole song can't
Like,
be that
what?
But I-
clip over and over.
No, I know, but it doesn't. It's like seriously, like that's what this song is about.
I think
like,
that's like social media in a nutshell though, right?
Pretty
yeah,
much,
that's
yeah.
true.
You get that
That applies to
euphoric
people,
clip.
too.
Yeah. And
That's
and
true. Didn't think of it that way.
you get all like
Your 5 seconds
doped up
of,
on it, and then yeah.
Oh my god.
and then you're like, well, the rest of this sucks. It's kind of like the same thing, right? Like you see all this cool stuff on social media and you get all excited, and then you come back to reality and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
That's why I think I don't know, I've had a problem with people watching like reality shows where people like you know how YouTubers or streamers or whatever, when they're going visiting places, filming what they're doing, vlogging, whatever. I hate people that sit there and watch those just because they're doing something cool while you're just sitting there in your living room watching it on YouTube, right?
Don't you do that?
No, I don't.
I mean, isn't it the same as watching like somebody play video games?
Honestly, I don't watch a lot, or if
A
any.
lot.
No,
You watch some.
I told you I've watched only. I use it for some shows to watch in Spanish.
I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
The whole watching someone else
Do something.
play a video game.
What the?
Or watching someone else. I mean, kids are into it too, so I can't. It's not just an adult thing. It's
We watch NFL.
kids watching kids open toys.
Could you not say it's the same thing as like watching a football game or watching I don't
No.
know, Kardashians or something?
Yes. Not the first one, but yes, the second one.
Okay.
It's not the same as watching football. Football's a competition.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
yeah, and in a video game, it's a competition. Let's say I'm watching the Call of Duty League, which is a tournament where they face each other, where teams,
That's
right?
different. You're watching a league. You're watching a tournament. It's a competition. I'm talking about people that sit there and watch the same guy play video games all day, every day. Just
and they
that's
make
what he does.
money for it. It's crazy.
Because
That
people
makes
watch
me
him. I mean,
question
it's-
what I'm
There's
doing
this
in
one
life.
guy- I want you to watch him. I recommend him. His name is Moist Critical.
Probably not going to watch him.
Did you say? Wait, what?
His name starts with Moist. I mean, that alone.
That's
Is Moist? Is that a weird word?
it is. It makes
Not to
me
me,
uncomfortable.
but to a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, not to,
It's
I
a
like
weird word.
Moist.
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 I don't like it.
But back where we were, is some nostalgia, is it bad? The reason I'm telling you, like what I told you, I was like, I don't like a lot of nostalgia because I feel like a lot of people live in the past sometimes.
No, so nostalgia by definition is good.
Yes, it's good.
What you're referring to is maybe
Living too much in the past.
no, what I had previously said, where it's a trigger. Where nostalgia is where you remember something and it makes you feel good, like it takes you back to a happy place.
Right.
Whereas if it's not taking you back to a happy place, it's taking you back to a negative, maybe like a negative situation or a negative point in your life or something negative is,
You don't necessarily want to remember, but you
Yeah.
don't have a choice.
and there's certain songs or certain movies where it's like, I remember where I was when I watched this movie, and
Like, I was watching this movie and my mom beat the shit out of me for cleaning my room or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she.
no, but it's
I see what you're saying.
so you have a negative, like your brain.
Associates it with a negative memory.
Yeah,
Yes.
And negative
I see what
feelings.
you're saying.
Trauma.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Childhood
Then
trauma.
it just becomes
Trigger.
trauma. I don't think it's nostalgia. That's
No, it's not nostalgia. That's what she's saying.
okay.
It's an unresolved childhood trauma. There, you have
All
it.
right, fine.
Go see a therapist.
Trigger.
Oh, well, whatever. That ends my conversation, I guess.
Why?
I don't
Because
know.
it
I'm
just
sorry.
triggered him.
Are you feeling triggered there?
No. I was like, when it comes to like what you're saying, triggering me, whatever. I think that the only things that do that is like whenever graduations come around, or
What?
yeah,
Why?
because
It's a trigger.
It's a trigger.
But why? What does it trigger?
What
What
do you
memory
say?
does it trigger?
My graduation, and it was because at my graduation, graduate whatever. After all words, everyone goes outside and you go meet up with their friends, take pictures, whatever. It's the last time you're seeing them, maybe sometimes.
High school or college?
High school, and so that day, I don't know why, but my dad has never decided to go to stuff like that for me, but he went. But the second it ended, like he was like, "Oh, let's go." It's like, I don't want to be in traffic. I was like, "But I want to go take pictures with my friends." He's like, "No, we're leaving." I'm like, "Fuck." I got mad that day, and it was a bad memory for me.
But
But
then
you should.
all your friends came over to your house to party.
No,
Or
No?
you partied with your friends.
yeah, they had their own thing.
They had their own thing. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
So what you're saying is you hate your dad.
No, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I just really.
I can say that instead of hating the situation, look at it from a different perspective.
We didn't get in a car crash. We avoided
No.
traffic.
What did you lose? Do you talk to any of those people?
Some of them.
What did you lose out of not taking a picture with them?
I get good memories. I don't know. That's what I think about it.
So you don't have the memories in your mind?
I have the memories of being in the car and running.
So a picture would have been.
Yeah, she's asking, is your life any less full?
Oh, no, I see. I see what you're
That's
saying.
my
Are,
point.
you, are
So
you less
it's-
fulfilled because you missed that moment?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So look at it from that perspective.
Change your perspective. I get you. All right. I'm
Just-
alive. I got you.
Positive Outlook.
Damn it! I had something I was gonna say and I forgot.
Graduations.
And kids. Do you ever think about that with your own kids now? How old's your oldest?
8. And yes, all the time.
About what?
Making sure that I go to all of the little things.
But that's the easy
Do
part.
you better.
But just like you know, every decision that you make, everything that you do
Yes.
has a consequence, right?
Yes.
And are you like consciously making decisions every day based on
I try
that
to.
knowledge?
I do try to. I think I do try to. And the biggest thing that I can say that I at least make a conscientious, like, is that if I'm ever in the wrong, I actually apologize to my kid.
Oh, so it's okay.
Where if, you know, as parents, we're not perfect. As parents, we mess up.
But do you ever do things that you know your kid will remember and not fondly, but you do them anyway because it's what you have to do that day? Because it happens. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, because I can tell you a lot more.
Yes. Yes. For example, and I know this is simple and others may think like, really, that's it. But like, for example, they do everything, the schools do everything online now, which is fine.
But
Except for they send you a link and like, hey, here's the weekly newsletter. And apparently I'm supposed to read that to find out
what they're doing?
what they're doing. And I didn't know that she had a concert, but this was after hours. Like it started at 5:30. Okay, well, it starts at 5:30. That means I got to leave work way sooner. So does the husband. We got to get you ready for whatever. And I didn't know until like that Friday. And it was on that day.
That's on them though.
Who?
Your
School.
kid? Oh.
School.
Well, I asked, so...
Yeah, fuck that kid. They
So,
didn't tell you now.
So that's what I was mad because I was like, the school didn't tell me, but they're like, didn't you get the weekly newsletter? And I'm like, I got a link. Like, I don't actually click on this shit.
That's not when I hear newsletter. I hear like, this is what's happening at our school.
Yes,
Like,
that,
goes out to
exactly. So
everybody
I
that
don't
gives a
think
shit.
exactly.
If your kid's involved in something, you should get a note, a letter, something sent home
No,
with
I
your
didn't get
kid.
anything. They're like, well, if you're involved in the or if you
If
look
you
at the
love your
week,
kid.
if you look at the weekly
I didn't know.
newsletter, no, but it was like, no, I don't pay attention to that. I thought you were telling me like what the PTA moms are doing.
That's
I don't
exactly
care.
what the newsletter is. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Apparently, they put that there was going to be a concert, whatever. My kid didn't end up going, and I told her, I was like, Mama, I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't know. And she's like, it's all right, Ma.
That's
So-
totally newsletter material. There's going to be a Christmas concert coming up on this week or whatever. But if your kid's in the fucking program, you should get something else.
Agreed. So when because there is a Christmas one, I was fully aware of it. I got her address. I was there. I did all the things. But the other one that they did, I'm like, how come I didn't know? Like, what I didn't know any of it. Like, they were supposed to dress up a certain way and all of this. And I'm
Because
like,
that doesn't apply because you didn't make, it wasn't a decision that you made. I'm not going to say willingly because you willingly didn't read the letter. But that wasn't your intent.
No, but I realized it on that Friday, like in the afternoon.
And you said, fuck it, you're not going.
And I was like, and I sent it to my husband and I was like, dude, did you know about this? And he's like,
Did you read
no.
the newsletter?
He's like, no, they haven't sent anything from school. I was like, right? Like we were on the same page.
Let's go get drunk.
And I was
He's
like,
like,
well,
yeah.
I was like, well, are we going to take her? He's like, hell no. Or was it a Thursday? It must have been like a Thursday.
Because you were like, hell no.
No, because I feel like maybe she had soccer that day. Like it was a day that she had practice and she typically doesn't have practice on Friday. So it must have been like a Wednesday, Thursday. And I was like, are we going to take her? I was like, and he's like, no, she has soccer practice. He was like, no. He's
That's
like,
more
they can't
important.
tell us the day
She
before.
could Alex Morgan or something.
He's like, no, we can't. Like, they got to give us more notice. And I even put something on the thing. I was like, I didn't get notice of this. And she's like, what do you mean? You didn't get the newsletter? I'm like, no.
But
I
did your
didn't
daughter, did she
She didn't care.
did she care?
Well, I told her, I
mean,
was like, you had a
well, she said-
concert? Yeah, I was like, you had a concert? She's like, yeah, it's today. And I'm like,
but do you think she didn't care or she just said it that way because how?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out in 20 years.
yeah, right,
She talks to
right.
her therapist.
Yes,
Right.
She might have
Exactly.
trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
But my biggest thing with that is look, I acknowledged, I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I literally told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And she's like, it's okay. Whatever. So.
Yeah, I don't think she'll care. She's too little.
They remember.
She might not even remember.
They remember. But what I'm saying is, what I was gonna say, ask you guys is, do you have anything from that your parents didn't, something in that situation?
My parents didn't
Did
do
it
a
ever
lot
happen?
of shit. My parents didn't do anything I'm gonna say for me. They fed me and they gave me clothes and shit.
Yeah.
Like all that bullshit that we worry about now wasn't a thing when I was growing up in the socioeconomic, bracket that I was in. That wasn't even a thing.
I got you.
Like the biggest thing for me was like, am I gonna get new shoes when I go back to school this year?
But was there anything ever you wish they would have been there for, like that you
that I hold against them, like to this day? No.
I know you wouldn't hold it against them.
Well, that's the only way it would matter.
But that you wish they would have been there
at the time.
Yeah,
I
think.
Okay, I understand what he's saying.
Because
what is it that you do for your kids that wasn't done for you?
A lot, but not because it wasn't done for me.
Okay.
It's just because I can and I know better, and I know my parents didn't. I think that's the thing. I always understood that because they were immigrants and it was a completely different world for them, they had no clue what the fuck was going on. And I knew that at the time.
Okay, so
I never held anything against them. Like it is what it is, and it worked in my favor too. Because if I didn't want to tell them about the fucking program, then they would never know any better. So it's fine.
I'll agree with you on that one because I was I think I did violin or something when I was like in elementary school, and I remember there was concerts for it. And I'm like, we live far. We're not coming. Like, no. So, and I think there was like one or two occasions where like the day of, my mom was like, you had a concert? And I'm like, yeah, for the violin. Why didn't you tell me? And I kind of like look like, we live far. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, you got to work. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an understanding, I guess. But.
Different times, different upbringings, I guess.
What about you, Ashley?
I was very fortunate. My mom and dad did pretty much everything they could for me and my sisters. Her
sisters, John and Mark.
Male names. No. But
sorry.
I think my parents grew up in like a lower middle class. Like I don't think they were like dirt poor, but they were getting by. Mm-hmm. And their parents didn't do a lot for them when it came to that kind of stuff. Especially my dad. His parents really didn't do shit for them. And now I think kind of the same boat as you, Joe. Like he doesn't hold it against them. He takes care of his parents. They're still around.
Yeah.
And I think he realized, well, shit, my mom kicked me out like on the day of my high school graduation. Like
see George, be grateful.
she packed his stuff up.
Damn.
He came home and she was like, all right, get out. So
seriously,
does she have a lot of kids?
They had 5, including my dad. And
That's hardcore.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I misunderstood that.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know why I said that. So 5 kids, yeah. And then my mom came from a family of 6. But I think seeing how, not necessarily, I don't want to say how his parents treated him, because I don't think they necessarily did anything wrong with what they had, right? But he wanted to do more. Mm-hmm. So when it came to sports, they tried to come to all the games. They would buy us the equipment we needed if they could, those types of things. So I was very, very fortunate.
Okay. I like that. You know what? Yeah. My dad did go to my games. Never mind.
No, my parents never went to any of my games.
What, you played?
Yeah. I played football and I never went to any of the games, but I don't remember ever being like, oh, I wish they were here.
I've seen that picture, yeah.
Like it just didn't matter to me. I've always been the same asshole.
I don't know. I feel like it matters to everyone. So, I mean, advice I would give is just to try to do that.
Like, people are definitely different.
Yeah.
There are some people. There are some people like me who really don't care. Like I was playing football because I wanted to play football, not because I wanted to make my dad proud. Like he didn't watch football, care about. Like it didn't matter.
You know, we're doing it for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So As long as they drop me off, I guess. As long as they got me there, because
See,
that's something
okay.
I wanted to do.
Yeah,
and they
soc-
did that. So
For soccer, I guess I played soccer. It's something I wanted to do, but knowing that my dad was there was pretty cool. Like it gave me more motivation. So yeah. I see what you said. Okay.
maybe if I had been playing soccer, because I knew he didn't understand football. Like I knew for a fact he didn't understand football.
You're a Niner fan.
Maybe if I played soccer, it would have been different.
Did he try to get you into soccer and you just didn't like it?
He wanted me to play baseball, and I learned how to play baseball because of my dad.
See,
Yeah.
And
that was my brother. My brother was baseball like all year. He was baseball, and then when he was in school, it was football, basketball. Like he was the sports dude,
no,
the
I never
golden
played.
child.
When I did try to play, he was a coach, so he coached a little baseball team that we had, and that was it. The extent to that.
Did you like your dad being a coach?
Yeah, he was really good. So
Sometimes I ask Daniel to be a coach for soccer, and he's like, nope. He's like, absolutely not. I can yell at my kid. I can't yell at somebody else's kid.
I have no problem yelling at other people's kids.
I could exactly. Yeah. I
He
can be
doesn't have a
coach, too.
problem with it. He just knows that other parents would,
I don't have a
especially
problem
in
putting up with
now
other parents
in
either.
this day and age, you can't.
Take your kid to
Lord.
another team.
Tina, shut
Yeah.
the fuck.
I coached Leslie's team. I coached Leslie's team for a season. She played one season.
Are you
I was the
coached her?
assistant coach, but the coach wasn't
Sorry.
really the coach.
Yeah.
He just, like, they needed a parent, and he signed up, and then we came late, and he's like, you want to be an assistant? I'm like, sure. But I couldn't do it. Leslie was actually halfway decent at soccer, which made it easy.
Did you hear that, Leslie? Halfway decent.
Actually, for that team, she was pretty good. Like, she never made me be like, fuck, my kid sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
but
that's
if my
my
kid
kid.
sucked,
That's,
I would have a hard time doing it.
That's
That's
Leslie.
where I was getting to.
okay, I see.
It'd be a little harder, because then I'd be like extra tough on my kid, and
You
parents
look
would
at her and be
angry.
like, "That's my, I'm her
She'd
dad."
be on the bench.
That was
Oh shit!
that was my
No,
husband.
no. Like, if my kid sucked, she'd be on the bench.
Oh, okay. I see
That
what
was
you
my
mean.
husband when Mia was like 4.
Get on the bench.
Yelling
like,
at her.
what?
She's like, can't even understand words yet. You're like,
Mia, you're on the bench. Steak.
need a little bottle.
The little bottle.
The one that has a little bit.
Yeah, that happened.
But yeah, I don't know.
So,
We do
hold
what
on.
we
You,
can.
you don't have kids yet. Does that worry you, knowing like all this stuff that, just knowing, and I don't guess you know this until you actually have the kid, but that everything you do has an impact on that child's life.
I mean, I've thought about it. I think that's one of the reasons that I'm not sure that I want kids.
That's fair.
Really?
You know,
Wow.
It's
That's
commendable.
valid.
There's a lot of people that I wish would have realized that before they had fucking kids.
like
Because-
Call him out. Call him out.
I'm not going to do that.
Call him out.
don't get me wrong. Like if I had a kid, I would do everything in the world for that kid,
Right.
and especially because I'm fortunate enough to have a good job. Like my partner has a great job. You know, like we have the means to bring a baby into the world and honestly
right by it.
spoil it
Yeah.
and try and teach it right from wrong. And I'm saying it like
That was good, Millie.
That's how you know they don't have kids. They call them it. I call them it. They're it until they start talking.
To follow up on that, do you think it is beneficial to give your kid everything
no.
because you have the means for it?
No. I grew up with a lot of kids who had a lot more than me, and I would not recommend it.
They were assholes.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think that creates assholes.
I grew up middle of the road. Like I said, very fortunate. I got pretty much everything I asked for within reason. And then I went off to college, and the kids that I was living with and hanging out with, their families were taking like trips to like Europe every summer.
Shit.
And I'm like, I've never flown on a plane. Like, what the?
I'm lucky
Dude,
if I get to go
I
to
agree
Disneyland.
with you.
What'd you say?
Te fue bien if you went to Disneyland.
También, ¿verdad?
I'm with him. Like, wait, you guys went to Disneyland? I went to Mexico.
That's a way. That's still.
We
out of the
drove
country.
there. We didn't even fly there. We drove there 36 hours.
It's like my aunt has a lake house that she lets us come to for a week.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there you go.
I feel like
But-
that happens a lot in college.
yeah,
Like
it's,
fucking culture shock.
The
Like,
epiphany.
it is. It is. And
that's when you realize you're poor. Like I grew up my entire life poor, not knowing.
That
I mean,
you're poor.
I knew I was poor, but it didn't.
How bad
Till I
you're
started
poor.
meeting people that didn't
How
grow
poor.
up poor. Yeah.
I'm poor. Okay.
That's valid. I think that's valid.
That's all you know. It's like everybody around you's poor. You live in the same fucking neighborhood. You go to
Yeah.
the same school. Like everybody's the same. So you get to a place where people from all over the place come together. When I went to boot camp, when I went to Navy boot camp, that was my first time. I never went to like an actual university.
Yeah.
But when I got there was like all these people that had all these stories that I'm like, yeah, I know nothing about that. Like, like you, this is my second time on a plane, or you. When I flew to Chicago, that was like my second or third time on a plane. Yeah, no, I'm not. We don't come from the same place, you and I.
You're not like us. Well, what was your? I was gonna ask something, but I never mind. I don't want to go that way.
Let's do it. Come on.
No. It's just about a plane, but never mind.
No.
Anywho,
I think having kids puts into perspective your own childhood, if that makes sense.
The one that asked if it was okay to give the kids everything because you can. Was it you?
I did.
Do you know somebody that does that?
Are
Yeah.
you about to call someone out?
No, but I do. Where,
I don't know where the other one's
I
at.
got it.
because they can, it's like, sure, you want a game, or I don't know. I guess what's a good example?
Well, it depends on how you grew up, right? I have a friend
A
that
dress.
gives her kids everything that,
You want
as
a
she puts
Dyson?
it, never had. Because, for that reason, because she never had it and she always wanted it, so she's going to give her kids everything she never had. And I think it's wrong, but they're not my fucking kids, so whatever.
I agree, and I agree with you. Where I agree with you
Would
to
you
an
get them
extent.
Would you get them a Dyson? One of those.
I don't
A
have
vacuum
one.
cleaner? Hell
No,
yeah.
no, the Dyson hair dryer.
The hair dryer.
It's like $5.99. It's an expensive hair dryer.
Made by Dyson,
Dyson.
the vacuum cleaner company?
Yes.
It's like the new big
I mean,
thing,
if you,
right?
if
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes
Oh,
sense
yeah.
because they have fans as well, and they're badass fans. I'll give
Well,
them
the
that.
vacuum cleaners are fans. They just,
I know, but like an
blow the wrong way.
actual fan.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they do have hair dryers, and they're like $600.
That's
So you wouldn't get
ridiculous.
that?
If that, it is ridiculous.
Oh,
What I
is
get
that
my-
what that?
It's the one that
I
like
heard
bends
about
and stuff.
that.
It's like this. It's
It's a
straight
circle.
and it's a circle.
That's the shark one.
Oh.
Sorry. I know. I don't know why I know
It's
this.
like a circle and it's straight.
You know.
Yeah, the shark one is like, and you can like detach them and put
Yeah,
different.
there's detachables
Yeah.
depending on what
Is
you
this
want to do
made
with
by
it.
the blender company? Or-
It's a ninja.
No, it's shark.
There's a
Yeah,
shark
that's ninja.
too
That's
in there.
ninja. Shark is a what was it? I think it's
That's also
it's
a vacuum.
Yeah, it's a
That's
vacuum.
also a
Oh,
vacuum. But no.
So fans. Okay.
So there's, look,
Like you justify it, you can both use it.
I understand. Then I buy it for myself, not for my kid. That's, look, I have girls. I know that eventually all three of them are going to be extra expensive. I'm aware of that. My
Yeah,
oldest
they don't
doesn't
have
want
to
one.
be.
My oldest doesn't want one. She's already made it crystal clear. She does not want one. She doesn't want to be a princess. That's what she says.
Oh,
So-
She told you what she does want.
I want a trip to Europe.
She's not there yet.
Oh no, okay.
She's not there
Huh?
yet. And
It's cheaper than a quinceañera.
much
Wait,
cheaper than a quinceañera.
I had this.
The dress alone is like $1,000. So
I had this
Grand. That's a
conversation.
cheap dress. From what
there
I've heard.
you go.
And from what we've heard,
I
we've heard of, I've talked about this. We had this conversation earlier another day, but I feel like having a quinceañera is cheaper than going to Europe in the sense of like having a
No.
2 weeks or whatever.
Dude,
Say that.
no.
No.
Do you not know what they cost?
Okay, but what a quinceañera
In
wouldn't
what
cost?
decade?
If you're thinking about getting a salon and all that stuff, when
Yeah.
you could just do it in your
Do you
backyard.
know how much? Okay,
Okay,
what?
what
Wait,
kid
that
wants that?
escalated way too. That
All right, fine.
again. I have 3 girls. I'm aware that they're going to be expensive. Right now, my kid is aware. My oldest is aware of the whole nails, the nail
okay.
situation. Getting your nails done, getting a pedicure, getting all of that. Because I've taken her a time or two with me,
Or just to watch.
No, I'm not. She'll
Sit there
get
and
hers
watch me
done.
get pampered.
Yes.
Okay.
You'll watch me. Don't ask for it. But I've taken her like on special occasions or whatever that I'll, we'll do it. But like just recently she's like, "Can we go get our nails done?" And I'm like, "Do you have a job?"
Yeah. It ain't cheap.
I was like, "No, ma'am." And I like right now I don't have mine done. And I'm like, "Do you see this? Like, are mine done?" I was like, I'm not taking you if I'm not taking me. I'm like, I don't know. I just, in my opinion, I'd rather be upfront, blunt with my kid.
They could be a daughter-mom date, like little.
Yeah, that's what she says. No. She does. She
George,
fully,
you're gonna be such a sucker when you're a dad.
She tries to sell me on it too, because she's like, "Mommy, can we have a daughter, mommy-daughter date?"
Dude, if I have a daughter,
And I'm like, girlfriend, what does that consist of? We get our nails done. We go to Target. I'm like, no, because
that sounds like fun.
That consists of money you don't make. Like,
George wants you to take him.
Honestly, let's go. Dude, that sounds like fun.
So it's a matter of, can I get them done? Sure. Do I feel like it? No. So it's one of those where, no, you're not going to get them done every time. It's a one-off. Like, don't think this is the norm, because it's not.
And you tell her, just wait until she gets her own job and starts making her own money.
There's times that I tell her where I'm like, you got money, girlfriend? Like, but that's what I'm saying, where I'm more of like you got money? And she'll be like, yeah, I got $5. I'm like, that's a tip, girl. I'm like, that's a tip. I'm like, girl, that's a tip. You're not going to get very far. That's a tip.
Going to the paletero.
But it's, I don't believe in giving my kid everything that they ask for. I just don't. I mean, this sounds horrible. Don't judge me. But like, just because we go to the grocery store and you see a piece of candy doesn't mean you have to get it. Like, just because we go to the store does not mean you need to get something.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And it's making, in my opinion, it's making sure that my kid knows that just because we go to the store does not mean you're going to get something. Like,
dude, I think
we're getting groceries. That's what we're here for. No, you don't need to get a toy. No, you don't need to get a piece of candy. No. That's it. They have to know the word no.
You're right.
And I feel like a lot of kids nowadays don't.
Well, this may be like a stretch and like diving deep down the rabbit hole, but this is like my thought on it. I grew up with a lot of kids who were less fortunate, and then some kids, especially when I got to college, seeing that they got everything they want, they were never taught like that they're in the wrong.
Yes.
So if you're giving your kid everything, you're more likely, I think, to be a parent that is, my kid's always right, my kid's never wrong,
deserves everything.
They grow up thinking that, and then they go into society and they're that type of person who's just, like,
it's a privileged mentality.
Isn't that a type of person that gets to the top?
No.
Huh?
That's the type of person that cuts you off in traffic and almost causes a wreck and then wants to get mad at you when you did nothing wrong.
Okay.
I love
it. Cuts people off.
You know, I love.
Sometimes they have connections and they get to the top, but not always the case.
Okay. I just feel like,
I don't know. I think my kid needs to know the word no.
Yeah, I'd spoil the shit out of my daughter.
You say that.
Too.
Exactly.
You say that. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I guess guys with the daughters is different. You know?
You have daughters.
You had daughters.
What do you
Did
mean?
you not spoil them?
Have an opinion.
No. No. You were different. No, you're different. I know what you basically never let her get anything. And I'm talking about,
that's not true.
Wait.
Olivia.
I want to hear his side.
Olivia's.
What?
Wait, Olivia or Leslie?
Either or.
Are they different? Do you think they're different?
They are different.
Well, I know they're different. Do you think I treated them different?
Ooh, I want to know.
Do I feel like you treated them different? Slightly, no, but yes, because I feel like Leslie was, growing up in different places. It's just, different. That's why I feel like you didn't raise them the same way as you did with Olivia.
I don't think I claimed. I don't claim to have raised Leslie, right?
Okay,
she didn't grow up with me, so
yeah.
So before you fully answer that, one thing that I didn't understand until it happened to me is depending on how old you are when you have your kids, each kid, if you have more than one, you're a different parent.
Okay.
I'm not the same parent that I was with Mia,
sense?
with the little one. I don't know.
How many years apart are they?
Well, Mia
Because
is
yours
8,
aren't that far apart.
8, 4, and 1.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mine were 13 and newborn, so or 12 and
Right,
newborn.
but if I can notice a difference and they're so close in age, I think that
Well, that's why I said in what way, because I'm definitely a different parent. I'm 12 years older now, right?
Mhm.
Olivia's getting old Joe, where Leslie got young, fun Joe. So she got to do a lot more things with me that Olivia will never get to do because I can't do them anymore. But
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think I'm raising them I don't think I'm.
Are you any more patient with one than you are with the other?
No. One, even though one requires a lot more patience than the other.
Oh,
The oldest.
yeah. Is it the oldest? I thought I was gonna say Olivia.
No, Olivia requires a lot more patience than Leslie did. Yeah.
Personality?
Definitely.
But I think I'm raising them the same. That's why I'm asking you if you think I'm not. If you think I'm different, treating them differently.
I do believe you're treating them differently.
How so?
Like I said, you just get. Leslie was older whenever she was around. In my eyes, because we're different. How old is she? 27?
She's gonna be 25
25?
or 24. Sorry,
6 years apart.
25. She's gonna be 25.
So yeah, I saw her. Yeah, I saw her like. I remember.
Well, you
I
saw her like every year. It's not like
Yeah.
she didn't ever come around.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like it was different. Just because like you said, you were young Joe when you go do stuff.
Well, that actually makes
I feel
sense.
like Olivia, you're a little bit more not strict. You're looser, but I don't know how to explain.
I think it was
It's like
more strict with
loose.
Leslie.
Oh,
So, and this is from a perspective of my line of work. You got her every summer?
Yeah, the usual summer.
So
every other,
standard-
Yeah,
Standard
My line of
visits.
work.
spring break,
It is.
summer,
I see what you're saying.
and every
Vacations?
other holiday or whatever.
And
yeah.
every other weekend as well? No, because
No,
you guys.
she lived out of town.
Okay.
so.
So, in his defense, she had him as fun dad.
But
Where
she didn't. That's
Okay.
the thing. That's why I'm saying I'm raising them the same, because your mom was the biggest one. She would bitch at me all the time because they wanted me to be fun dad, and I wasn't, because I was always of the opinion that I'm her dad. I'm not her fucking friend,
Yeah.
right? If she sees me all year or 2 or 3 times a year, I'm gonna be her dad.
much
And they would
respect
give
for
me
that.
so much shit because I wouldn't let her do this. I wouldn't let her do that. I was always getting on to her, and she's like, dude, she sees you for a week and you're being an asshole. I'm like, sorry.
You know what? I commend you
But-
for that. No. That's actually a good thing
But I
because
think we ended up with a decent relationship. Like,
No, you do. No. Don't get me wrong. I do believe you and Leslie have a great relationship.
Because
So-
from what I've seen, you get parents that you have the fun dad, and then you get to a point of the kid only wants to be with fun dad because he doesn't have any rules. He doesn't have this. I can get away with murder. Like, it's just,
so I was still fun dad just because we
But you
led
had
a
a
fun
parenting-
lifestyle, but it wasn't like,
I will tell you this.
did not interfere with my parenting.
I
I'll tell
commend you
that.
for
I see
that.
what you're saying.
I commend
do
you for
believe
that.
you're being a fun dad with Olivia too, because I mean you're taking her to all these things that she wants to do, her gymnastics. So you're doing great.
I don't want to
He's
hear
like,
I'm doing great.
duh.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Oh, what you're doing wrong? No, nothing. I don't think as of right now. No,
No, I just hope I'm
She
not
needs that-
treating them differently. I'm trying to do the same by both of them. Just that way, if I fuck one of them up, I fuck both of them up.
Yeah, her Spanish. I think that's gonna.
You know, you don't have to do anything wrong, right? Like,
Because we're going to do everything wrong
don't-
as
well, no,
parents.
I'm saying I grew
Yes.
up with people that their parents. I was basically like brothers to
To your
two of my best friends.
Oh, okay.
They got mixed in with the wrong crowd. You know,
Oh,
like the parents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, each person, they're their own person, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
I was just
Yeah,
going to say,
so-
you know, sometimes that actually worries me, where it's like, what if my kid just
Gets in
gets
the
with the
wrong
wrong crowd? Like that's actually, but then I think about myself in the sense of I hung around some folks that maybe I shouldn't have.
But there's.
And I knew where I'm like, no, dude, I'm not doing that shit. Like,
But did you know that just naturally, or because you got it from your parents?
naturally, because my parents were very much of, I mean, I had the
Tasha from right.
stereotypical Mexican parents where they don't talk about
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
drugs. They don't talk about bad things. They don't actually talk. So if I'm in a situation of, oh, I'm in a party and there's drinking, I was never told not to drink. It was more of like, no, I'm just trying to have fun without having to get shit faced.
That was
Like,
all on you.
but that's what I'm saying. Where it was my own thing. Where sure, I could have had several drinks. Sure, I could have done a lot of stuff that I.
But you don't think you were influenced by? Because I was the same way. I've told Leslie this, and I will tell Olivia this, probably in the next year because she's going to middle school next year, and it's going to come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beer.
I had a lot of friends that did drugs.
Mine
and
too.
They were my friends, but I never did. I'd like never in my life until I was 28 years old did I try anything illegal, and it wasn't illegal when I tried it.
I think I was 28. Props,
Right.
because I don't think I was 28, but.
But everybody, there were a lot of people around me that were doing it, and I chose not to do it. But my parents never specifically told me, hey, don't do this, don't do that, or this is going to happen, you have to make the right. That never happened. But also, my parents I never saw my parents drunk. I never saw my parents high. I never saw my parents do any of those things. So I think I was just influenced by that.
But hold on, because I never
They
saw.
would drink. They would
no, you're
drink.
right. Yeah,
They
you know
would
what? Now
drink.
think about
but
it.
I
Mine
never saw
didn't.
my parents drunk.
But mine didn't. Like my dad would have beer, if that. But
Yeah.
my mom never drank. My mom never
My
like.
mom drank like once in the fucking blue moon.
But shit. I mean,
And then she would get drunk. At the time, I didn't know she was drunk. I just thought she was having a really good time. Now that I think back, and I'm like, she was fucking hammered. But she was like a good drunk. Like she was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
having
happy
fun.
drunk.
Yeah.
She was a happy drunk. Okay, so. But what made you think I'm not going to do these things? If you saw that your kid, I mean, you didn't see them.
Experienced it.
You didn't see them wasted, but what is it that clicked? Because I'm wondering
I don't know.
what it was
I
that
don't know.
clicked on
Did you
my
not-
end.
Did you not drink in your 20s or stuff like that?
No, I
Wasted?
drank. I drank
Okay.
again because I saw my parents drink, and they drank responsibly, and they did it.
Yeah.
So I started drinking at a young age because we lived on the border, so I could go across the border and drink. So we
13.
did, but we never got fucking hammered.
What?
Or I was
And see,
14.
Oh,
and
14.
and you know
Jeez.
what? That is one thing that I can give all the kudos to my brother-in-law. I can't even, because that is one thing that he told me maybe once, twice, where he said, look, dude, I'm not an idiot. You're going to drink. Well, only thing I ask is don't be stupid and don't drive drunk. And that's something that
And this is your
resonated.
brother-in-law?
Yeah, my sister's husband. I was living with them. I
Okay.
lived with them for several years. So, especially in high school. So, and that was one thing that resonated with me because he said, if you're, and I was in my 20s already. He said,
Oh, shit.
if you're,
Early
yes. No, but when he said this, he said, if you're going to drink, he's like, and you can't drive, call me. No questions asked. I'm going to pick you up, but don't drive drunk. Like that was the one thing. And I can tell you there was 2 occasions that I had to call him and no questions asked. No,
Did you get Whataburger on the way home?
in Wisconsin, there's no Whataburger.
What the
I feel so bad for you people.
Yeah.
There's
but
no,
goodness
there's no
sakes.
Jack in the Box.
Damn! What the hell do you have? A Carl's Jr.?
People drop cheese curds on the sidewalk and they just drive by and pick them up.
What the freak? Oh, don't tell me you have an In-N-Out over there.
Nope.
Not even. What do you eat? Like on late night after the club or something. Actually, do you have clubs anyways?
Yes,
over
we
there?
have clubs.
Or like bars?
We have lots of bars. We have bars on every corner.
They have bars on bars.
Bars on bars on bars.
So you know what? That's whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to Wisconsin.
So he would, yes. Dude, they drink more over there than you would ever.
He's not worried about the drinking. He's
I don't
worried about the
worry
eating
about
after you're
the
drunk.
food
After you get tacos, after you get,
in Wisconsin.
look.
We talked about this.
Talk
Hey,
talk
okay.
all the shit you want, because
I'm not
even
talking
my husband said the food over there is better than out here.
Oh, shit,
Especially
okay. Now you're reaching.
dude.
Now you're reaching.
You're talking about
you
Texas.
cannot come. Texas has Tex-Mex.
No, we don't
but
talk
you
about
can
Tex-Mex.
also get
We don't talk about
Mexican here.
Tex-Mex, yeah.
You just got to know where to go.
Yeah, tell me where. Please give me a
Well,
list,
not right now.
and
After-
I will go
after I
through
will tell you. I will tell
I
you
will
after
check
this.
them out one by one.
Okay.
But side note, distraction. One thing that he said to me was, if you can't drive, call me and I will pick you up. No questions asked. I won't lecture you. I won't nothing. I just want you to call me. And that's 2 occasions that I called him. He didn't
He did what he said.
He did. And there was no judgment after. There was no nothing. It was more of like, you good?
You alive?
And that was his thing where he's like, you good? And that was his kind of like, what did he do once where he's
Scolding
like,
you type of thing, but not.
yes, where it was
Is this
more
like
of
you
the
good,
silence.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And that hurt me more than anything. But the fact that he didn't judge me for it. He didn't do anything. It was, I'm grateful for that.
You know what?
And I want my kid to have that. Like, if I'm not the person that they can call, I hope that I'm the person that they can call with no judgment, with no nothing. But that's in my head, I'm like, I want my kid to be, I'm not going to be naive. I don't want to be that parent that never.
I have a story about that.
What?
So, speaking of that, I asked Leslie one time because she went to pick me up in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth? Goodness sakes.
We went out day drinking one Sunday and we're like, yeah, we're not driving home. Leslie, come get us.
Where'd you start?
In Fort Worth.
Oh, okay. I was going to say she would down.
Well, we
stuff.
started the night before and it just carried on and we ended up, whatever.
I'm so jealous.
We were in Fort Worth and we were drunk. It was like noon on a Sunday. And she went and picked us up. And on the drive back, I'm like, so if you were too drunk to drive and you had to call somebody, who would you call? And she said she had no one. And
Did that break your heart?
No, I mean, she said me, whatever. After like which one of your cousins, which one of your friends would you call?
Oh, okay.
Is that when she called me?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
But she said she had no one in her group of friends that she could call. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure you could call George. And she looked at me like I was stupid. I'm like, what, George? You know, he's like legit.
So she had already called him.
She said, no, I don't think you know George like you think you know George. I'm like, what do you mean? And we're literally in the car. And I said, call him right now. Call him right now. Tell him you're drunk in Fort Worth and you can't fucking drive and you need him to pick you up. So she called him. I don't know what fucking excuse you used, but he said, no, I can't. No.
Are you serious?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't answer.
No. Yes, you did.
I didn't answer.
Yes, you did.
I'm disappointed in you,
dude,
George.
You need to clear this up. Hold on. No, listen.
George,
this is how I
I'm
remember
disappointed.
This is how I remember it. Thank you for saying it that way.
I was asleep. I took a nap and I woke up and I saw a call from Leslie and she never calls me. So I called her back. I was like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, she told me everything. She's like, oh, I was drunk in Fort Worth.
Dream.
I swear to you. She's like, I'm in Fort Worth and like
you were sleeping on a Sunday at noon?
Yes.
I'm disappointed in you.
No, I swear. I remember this because this stuck in my head. Of like I was disappointed in myself because I did it like
because you didn't go pick her up.
No,
because
I
after
didn't
you found
answer.
out it was a test.
I've told even the group of friends that I have,
Leslie,
and this is something that I learned from a coworker actually, where I've told my friends if my kid, well, obviously at that age. Now, right now, my 8-year-old better not fucking call anybody drunk.
I'm drunk.
I hope that.
I promise you, Olivia has somebody she would call.
But you know what I mean? Where it's like, I hope that if my kid does not feel like she can come to me, that she can at least go to like a close friend / that who she calls a tia. You know what I mean? Where she can be like, hey, tia, don't tell my mom, but can you pick me up? Like, I genuinely want that. Maybe I'm crazy, but.
What about her sister?
Is that a Mexican thing?
Do that.
Same way?
That you can have someone you can call?
A tia?
Oh.
I say tia, but they're not related. They're not related, but it's a tia is aunt.
Right.
But they're friends. They're really close friends of mine, but my kids know them as tias. Why? Because
I don't think that's...
they're allowed to yell at you if you're
You'll
doing...
have those two?
Yeah. Like family friends. Like I had...
What do y'all call them?
Uncle.
Family friends.
Really?
It's aunt.
Uncle, aunt. Yeah, like seriously.
Oh, so you call them
you
aunts
still call
too?
them like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I learned something new. No.
I grew up my whole life. Didn't know one of my dad's like close work friends wasn't my uncle until like I actually understood what uncle meant. Like I always called him Uncle Darren.
No, even now I
my
get
uncle.
in. I'm like, isn't that my aunt? No.
Oh, dude, last week, Olivia's first nanny, not related to us, but whatever, Sandra, and this week she's like, we were talking about it for some reason. She's like, why did I call her Tia Sandra? She's not my aunt. I'm like,
it's complicated. You're Mexican. It's fine.
Yeah.
move on.
On regards to that, I remember, I don't know if it was our first time, but my sister called me one day and she was like, hey, can you pick me up? I was like, what's wrong? It was like midnight or something. I was like, hey, I'm at this address. Can you come pick me up? Just pick me up. I was like, all right, cool. I went and picked her up. And
George trying to redeem himself. For
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying.
No, this was a long time ago. It was before that day you called me. But
Before you knew better.
like, and then this is what I was gonna ask is like, do you think your sister would be that type of like? You said you had 3 daughters, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Considering that my sister lives in Wisconsin.
Not your sister, your daughter's sister.
Was she like?
Oh, that just stressed me out. Okay, so considering, at least I say the oldest 2 because the baby still, I mean, she's pretty
baby.
hardcore.
Baby.
I can imagine the little angry gremlin when she gets older. But considering the personalities of my first 2, I think the middle one will be calling my older one.
That's usually the case.
To rescue.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
I mean, my second, her personality is just she's
wait.
she's the second child.
Just wait.
Fucking shit. She's the second child.
Just wait. You
So
have 3.
I know. They've told me that the third one is the worst.
Yes,
So
middle child's the best.
What's
Says the middle child.
That's what a middle child would say.
something a middle child would say. I would hope, I want them to have that relationship. And that's what, because like me, my brother, my sister, I'm really close to both of them. Me being the youngest, I'm really close to both of them. So I'm kind of trying to tell the girls where it's like, dude, you guys got each other. Like, that's your sister. You got to take care of her. Like, I don't give a shit. You guys got to take care of each other.
Yeah.
That's what
only
I'm
refill.
trying to.
Refill, man.
That's what I'm trying to teach them. So I can only hope that eventually doesn't turn into hate and turns into, I mean, they love each other now, but they,
It's going to turn into some therapist paycheck. It's
no,
fine.
I'm sure. And you know what? If my kid is to confront me and say, but mom, you partied, I'd be like, I did. I'm sorry. Like I did.
Y'all keeping up with the Gen X thing on TikTok?
About what?
What's the Gen X
Like
thing?
there was some stupid girl that called out Gen X.
What'd you
She's
say?
like, if we're being honest, Gen X is probably the worst generation.
What's Gen X? What years?
80, right?
No.
60 something to 80 or something. I don't know.
65 to 80.
Yeah, something like that. My generation. And there's all it is stitches of people going on there like, hey, you just fucked up. It's all her. Like, don't fuck with us. Because we, like, you were saying, like, you hope it doesn't turn into hate and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was about the way we grew up, but we genuinely don't give a shit about pretty much anything. So it's a lot of things roll off our back. Like we're not going to get butthurt about anything. Like there's nothing you could say to us now that a 7-year-old didn't say to us in 1985. Like pretty much.
1985.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
see what you're saying.
Is it because all the generation now is so like sheltered?
No, the generation
For
now
sure,
is
yeah.
so sheltered.
Sheltered and yeah. What do you
There's
You shelter
another
your
word.
kids?
There's another word.
Protected? I don't know.
Well, they're sheltered at home, right? But then they can go online and see all this crazy shit.
I don't know what causes it, but y'all are a bunch of little bitches.
Y'all,
Who?
y'all escalated.
He really did.
I'm just
What the
saying.
fuck? Why? Me?
We're-
Our generation?
We're close in age.
Yes.
How old are you,
Right?
George? Are you close in age?
I'm 25.
Hey, me too.
Hey, per my kids, because my kid gave me, like, when they give you the gifts for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
My middle child thinks I'm 3.
3?
Yes.
And
How old is mommy? 3.
what's
My
the other one?
8-year-old said 26.
Okay.
And I said, yes, ma'am.
So you averaged them.
Yes, ma'am. And she's like, no, mommy, but really, how old are you? I was like, I'm 24. I was like, so you got it wrong. And she just like side-eyed me. But
What are you doing, George?
Hold on. I'm getting
Are
an
you
answer.
texting somebody?
I'm getting an answer.
We'll just have her back on.
We will.
All right, fuck it. We can call her.
Call her. Call her right now. Call
Hold
her.
on.
Actually, you know.
He's trying to get the point.
Yeah.
Your phone? You know what happened to me recently?
What?
And two things happened after this happened. My friend's kid, who is in high school, she
Sorry.
is.
Sorry, I'm back. I'm
George, are you okay?
George.
Adrian.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, I'm not offended. I've heard worse.
sorry, okay.
So my friend's kid, who is in high school, she's I think a junior or gonna be a junior, senior, gonna be a junior, senior. She called me. I didn't even have her number saved, but she called me and she's like, Adriana, there was something in her tone where I'm like, yeah, like it was like a mommy mode turned on, or not even mommy
yeah, what do
mode.
you
It
mean?
was like, I'm like, are you good? And she's like, yeah, I was wondering if you got my text about blah, 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 blah. I'm like, girl. I was like, do you need me to go pick you up? I was like, are you good? And she's like, no, I'm so good, and blah, blah, blah. And she was talking about soccer and all this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got it. I was like, are you good? Like, it was.
He's like, I want you to need me right now.
And then
What's going on?
We hung up, and literally, this is my comadre that she later told me, where she's like, hey, she's like, yeah, I told her that she needed to reach out to you. I told her that she needed to do it. She's like, but in that conversation, I realized, and she realized, her kid realized as well, if I'm ever in trouble, I'm calling Adriana. And I'm like, good. I'm like,
So everybody get her number before we leave.
no. No.
I'll call your ass at 3 a.m. I'm in Waco. Right.
And I was like, well, no. I was like, dude, I thought she was like gonna tell me to go rescue her. Mind you, it was maybe a Saturday at like 8 o'clock. But it was I don't know, something clicked in my head and I'm like, do you need me?
Yeah.
Am I gonna? What's happening?
So George doesn't have that gene.
Clearly
Dude,
not.
okay.
George.
Ashley, do you? Can I call you at 3 a.m?
You can call me anytime.
She's like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer. What do you
I didn't mean for it to come out like that, but it did.
You can't call me. It's
No, we had a moment like that.
You and Joe?
No,
I'm like, oh.
at,
You found a lot of other moments.
Oh,
okay.
I'll keep it very surface level, but
I thought he was gonna say I'll keep it PG.
That's funny, man.
at work, we all went out to a Stars game, and everyone that went, except for one person, called their significant other. And the next day at work, we were all talking about, man, I was in trouble.
Because they were
Because they had to come get us at like 2 a.m. on a weeknight.
Just before I got there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
It was fun, though.
It's kind of sad.
Trouble,
I
not
wish I would've
trouble.
been there
It's
for that.
more of. Yeah, no. I think I've gotten a call once from my husband where it's like I can't drive, and I'm like, all right.
I'm not even like, are you serious? Like, if she's wide awake on a weekday in the middle of the day and I call Yvette, she's not going to answer. So I'm not even going to bother.
But you
middle
said
of
a
someone
weekday.
else.
Well,
Which one of your brothers would you call?
Beto.
Yeah, he would answer you, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't answer me.
Your mom was my ICE
Was she really?
contact forever, like for years,
I think
until she moved.
Oh, okay.
Because
now
she
she's
always
not.
answers the phone.
Yeah. Well, does she?
that's valid.
Not when you call, but
Yeah, not when I
Yeah.
call. Yeah.
That's
I
actually.
feel like Claudia would be that.
she never answers the phone. She'll call you back, but she never knows where her phone is.
Out of your nephews, who would you call?
None.
Other than me.
Adrian.
What the fuck? Not me.
Adrian is your.
Adrian.
I'm like.
You're in the C, yeah.
As I said, Adrian is your nephew. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't think I knew that.
See where I fall on the list?
Well, you put yourself on that list.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I found out I was on the blacklist for my uncle this past weekend. But you told
See,
me
so
that last
Leslie's
week.
not the only one. Oh, no, you're talking about the soccer thing.
Yeah, talking about that other stuff. But anyway.
All right, so I was in Colorado last week.
Did you? We'll have this conversation later.
Okay.
Did you bring the goods?
What
No.
he said.
I didn't.
Why are you here?
But I have plenty of them if you want some.
Just kidding.
That fucking airport sucks.
Yes.
I hate flying into it. I hate flying out of it.
Except for its mural.
But that horse is cool.
Dude, come on.
And I missed it. Like we drove right by it. I'm like, fuck. I was trying to show it to Olivia. I'm like, you just missed the horse. She's like, what do you mean? I saw it. Like, yeah, but you didn't see the ice. The eyes are glowing red.
Conspiracy.
Dun dun dun.
We're all gonna die.
We flew in there one time. We do a lot of ski trips, and we were.
Show off.
Perdón.
I barely go to the beach.
He goes to Aspen.
I wish. But we flew in and we were going to Durango, which is Southwest Colorado.
So is that so? Okay.
He said Durango, and I thought Mexico.
Off the topic. If you're going that far southwest, do you still fly into Denver? Is there not a better place to fly into?
There's no direct, or at
That
least there
sucks.
wasn't when we were looking.
I'm
I've been
telling
wondering
you,
about that forever, but
that's like a middle ground for a lot. Not even middle ground. It's just a ground.
okay.
There's,
Sorry,
there's
go
not
ahead.
there's not a lot there, but the airport sucks. So we fly into Denver, and our connecting flight is like 45 minutes later. We had to be escorted through like the back areas of the airport because they were
you saw
renovating it.
All the things.
Tell us more.
What'd you see?
Were you in the
I didn't-
bunker?
I
Or
didn't
did you go
see-
downstairs?
Give us all the conspiracies. What did you see?
I mean,
what
I w-
aliens?
I wish I had beans to spill, but I don't. But
Damn it.
that was this airport sucks.
What
And
is your
then-
purpose?
And then of course I'm getting to the gate of our next flight, and everyone's like in line getting food, and I'm like, I'm an anxious traveler. I'm like,
Oh
no,
shit, that sucks.
That's my
we
husband.
gotta get there and we gotta be ready to go. And they're like, oh, it's all right. Like they aren't gonna leave without us. And I'm like, no, they will
Holy-
shut the door on your ass.
I want to meet the they won't
That's-
leave without us people. Like, what world do you live in? Is that you? Seriously?
Really?
I'm very chill when it comes to flying.
That's fine. I'm chill too.
My
but I know for a
husband-
fact they will leave without us.
You know, me and my husband are complete opposites when it comes to that. So it's like I'm more of like chill, have a drink, it's fine. They're not gonna leave without us. That's what I tell him. I tell him the same, and he's like, "What?"
Last
No.
week when we left, there was the one time I was sure we were gonna miss a flight because we pack, like we get up at 3 a.m. and pack for a 5 o'clock flight or a 6 o'clock flight, whatever. And I didn't think we were gonna make it, but there was like nobody at the fucking airport. We flew right through security, got to our gate.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
If you're meant to miss it, you're meant to miss it. That's
And
my
it doesn't
point.
matter what you do.
Exactly. That's my point. When I say it's not going to leave without us, it's a mental perspective of if I'm not supposed to be on that flight, it's
Some
not going to
Final
happen.
Destination shit.
It is.
But it's avoidable.
That's what I was hoping for.
No, because if you're not meant to be on that flight, you're not meant
Look,
to be.
the only flight when I think I've missed like 2 flights, but there was a flight that I was like 2 hours early for because the person I was flying with was one of those people, and we were at the bar drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't leave on our flight because the flight didn't take off because something was wrong. There was a part missing,
And you were there
whatever.
early.
Yeah,
If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. I've only missed one flight, and it was what it was.
it's fine.
Yes. Certain things,
Everything's fine.
there's a
It'll be
purpose.
fine.
That flight to El Paso that I missed, I was watching it. I was like,
Blow up.
Stop.
Everybody wants to be in a Final Destination movie. Come on.
No, we don't.
oh,
No.
hell yeah. Kidding me?
You know what? The tree trunks, that's enough for me. I won't get
So
behind them on the freeway.
Who was it last week? Was it Olivia that was watching?
Yeah, I showed her the first one because I want her to watch that scene. Because every time we see a truck with logs on the back, we're like,
That's
we
what you think of?
reference it.
Yeah.
And she has no clue what we're talking about. So I'm like, oh, we're going to show it to you. So we watched the first one, and then like towards the middle of the movie, I'm like, this isn't the movie with that scene. It's the second one.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
she
it's the second one.
told me, she's like, oh, have you seen this movie and this happens? And I was like, you watch Final Destination? She's like, yeah. Like, oh, you just watched the first one. She's like, there's more. I was like, oh, you still got 5 more to go.
I stopped watching them after a certain point because I'm like, you know what? Anxiety. That's
We
what.
watched the second one this week, so she's seen it now.
Oh, okay.
But
And then she paused it, and she's like, you've been talking about the scene. Why did you want me to watch it?
I hate
I'm
that
like,
these
you
kids
know
are.
what? I thought it was cool. Fuck you. Let's carry on.
but it's avoidable, right? Like when I see the log truck, I'm not gonna just set cruise control and ride behind it.
For sure.
You know,
There's
like,
people that do. Because they haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. Well,
And they also have no common sense.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
You know what? Common sense is not common.
Don't say that. That's so.
cliche.
I hate that
Yeah.
it's,
It's not cliche.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true. It is.
It is, but it's also cliche. Two things can be true at the same time. It's fine.
Both of them are true.
Yeah.
Common sense is not common. Whatever.
Makes you mad.
Frustrating.
Apparently, you feel really strongly about
I
that.
I do.
George?
You said you were
No,
going to drink
no, it's
wine,
not
so I stopped.
Oh, you want to drink one?
No, you.
want to drink wine.
You want some more?
You're drinking some. You said you were going to.
I don't know. I don't want to mix it with these like. Wait.
You're now thinking about that, so you're going to drink straight from the bottle, or what? What's your plan?
That's kind of that was wrong, but can I mix it? Is he? You know what?
Can you mix what? There's nothing in there. That's enough wine.
What do
It's
you
not,
mean?
It's not beer.
He's like,
I'm
I
not saying
fear
it's
for
beer.
you. He said, I fear for you.
Do you want
Yeah.
more?
The way you're drinking, I got it. The way you're pouring.
Wine drunk, it creeps up on you.
It
Yeah.
does. That's why.
I feel like
We went. So my girlfriend's brother got married last weekend, and we went to Arizona because
What part?
so she grew up in Tucson. Her family lives there, but her brother lives in Flagstaff. So they had the wedding in Cottonwood, which is like, yeah, kind of. It's not really mountains.
A
It's surrounded.
sub-city.
I know where Flagstaff is. I've been there.
Oh, it's
actually pretty nice.
it's beautiful. But we went to a bunch of vineyards and
I didn't know they had vineyards.
yeah. So
In Arizona?
yeah, there's a bunch.
There's a-
So you go north of Phoenix, you kind of get up into like the high elevation.
Yeah, in the mountains.
Well, you kind of like go over the mountains, and then you're like in the like it's like a bunch of valleys. Like Sedona is kind of like not really the mountains,
But it's still up there.
it's
Mhm.
still it's
I
like
get what you're saying.
5,000
Okay, yeah.
5,000 feet.
So you're up high, but you're in a valley.
It's like high desert,
Yeah.
right? So it's like really like ideal
It's
for
like El Paso.
vineyards. Yeah,
Can
Okay.
you really compare that to El Paso?
No, not at all.
Okay,
As
because
far as
I'm
the way
like,
it looks,
I've
no,
been.
but-
No.
And
I've
the fact
compared
that
it.
it's like
I've
it's
been
high,
to
it's high
both.
up there, but it's a desert.
I've compared it to El Paso. We're talking about Arizona, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Phoenix, Flagstaff.
Well, no, he's talking about
You can't
like
compare
north,
Phoenix,
west,
dude. Phoenix is more of a
northwest.
city.
it's
I
like
lived in
it's like
Phoenix.
dead central.
Hmm.
It's
The
weird.
style. Talk about the style.
So you get Tucson's like far south, right?
Right.
Phoenix is like south
That's
central.
just desert, right?
Yeah,
Desert,
just straight desert, saguaro, everywhere, hot as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Sip
And
it.
then you get
Chug it.
north of
It's
Phoenix,
So shot way.
and you get up into like high desert, mountainous. But then before you get to Sedona and Flagstaff, because Flagstaff's like true like alpine, right?
Okay.
Like Colorado,
Yeah,
you're in more
it
of
snows
like
there.
oh, it snows a lot.
Mhm.
It snows a lot. But then you get into like that, like they call it northern Arizona, but it's really like central, right?
Okay.
Because then you go like to true northern Arizona, there's nothing there. But that central area is just high desert, and it's
That
like a
just
mix.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
What, Arizona in general?
High desert.
Oh, high desert.
Have you been?
It's hotter.
it's beautiful.
You,
No, I know. Like I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
But
you know, they made me go hiking up there once.
Oh.
Don't know if I felt the same after that hike.
yeah.
Well, I lived there for a few years.
what's the elevation in
High.
In where?
Wisconsin?
Oh, I don't know.
Sea level,
Cold.
1,000 feet maybe.
Cold.
Yeah,
It's cold.
That's the elevation. What's
Yeah,
the cold?
elevation
It
is cold.
is 1,050. Yeah, 1,000.
Where?
Wisconsin.
Skansen.
Oh.
In Skansen.
Wisconsin.
Skansen.
Skansen. But in Phoenix.
Pahonix.
Phoenix.
like
1,086.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about the same.
Phoenix?
I thought it was like
Oh,
2
yeah,
or
that's
3.
exact.
Phoenix.
Wait, Phoenix. Yeah.
Phoenix 1,086. Wisconsin 1,056.
Sedona?
Sedona.
I was like 4, 5.
I don't know if I.
Sorry, hold on.
I just
No.
Awkward
shit.
silence.
4,360.
That's a big
Yeah,
difference.
it's a big
That's
difference.
3,000.
That's why it's
Yeah.
called high desert.
Chet. I went just
But that
to the
doesn't
desert.
make sense to me.
Why?
Because,
Why is it high?
yeah, What's the elevation of El Paso?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's close.
It is
2 to 3.
3,700. Yeah.
It's like you're
3,700.
up there, but it's still a fucking desert. It doesn't make
I know
sense
that
to me.
when
It's closer to the sun.
I know that when we drive over there, once you hit El Paso, like after El Paso, you're good.
What do you mean?
That's how I remember it. Like
Oh,
after
when
you
you're coming back?
No, once to go to Phoenix,
Pahonix.
Yeah.
Pahonix.
Yeah.
Once you
Could not call
pass,
it anything.
once you pass El Paso, you're pretty much there.
It's still,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
still 6 hours.
It's just it takes you just as long to get from here
Do
to
you
El
know
Paso
how
as it does
long
from
it
there to
takes?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
8.
Do you know how long it takes to get out of Texas?
8. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Well, 8.
Okay,
So
you
I think-
small state people.
I think high desert, right?
Wait, how long does it take
Mountains.
to get out of yours? Out of Wisconsin?
I don't know. I don't live there anymore.
Who's driving?
Yeah, you're right.
I'll tell you how many minutes.
Depends on where you're going. If you're going to Illinois, it's about an hour.
That's
Less,
crazy.
45 minutes.
Yeah, but from where?
But Milwaukee.
Walking.
So if you're in Green Bay,
Like
well,
if you're
it's-
driving straight across the longest, like whatever, 2 hours,
The
3 hours.
closest
Yo
for
no
us
sé.
to Oklahoma is like what? An hour and a half? Or an hour?
is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Interesting.
But
Where's Broken?
Broken
No.
Bow? 3 hours.
Yes.
3 hours. It's in Oklahoma.
Have you never
Isn't
been?
that no?
What?
I've never been.
If you plan a trip, I better be invited this time.
You're not.
You're not.
Are you planning a trip?
Always.
Can we be invited? Can we be invited?
Let's
Can we
have our own
replace
conversation,
George?
Ashley. What?
well, no. What I,
Those two are gone.
Can we replace George?
Adriana, you're probably going to take this seat next week, honestly.
you should go to Broken Bow. I've never been.
I've
It's on my
never been.
list.
You've never been either?
I'm
what
gonna
the
go-
fuck is wrong with you people?
I'm gonna go before we move.
You know what?
We're
You
not
should.
from El
It's
Texas. Well, I'm not.
I'm not
I don't
either.
know my husband's.
El Texas.
El
Sounds cool.
Texas.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
El
Phoenix.
El Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. Give me one for California.
Well, the basketball team is Los Suns.
I'm pretty sure they're sons, right?
Los.
It just
On
lost
Hispanic.
their
on
hockey team.
Hispanic.
On, yep.
Are y'all done?
Those Mavs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're good.
We're talking about Broken
We'd
Bow.
be done right now.
What do we have? Where are we at?
Enough.
That's up to you. You know what? Yeah, the Mavericks are about to play. Mavericks and Dallas Stars. Hoorah!
Jesus.
All right, we're done.
Do you see that echo? There's an echo.
You see the echo?
I mean, do you hear the echo?
Okay, we're done.
Thanks, Ashley, for coming on.